Welcome to the Protecting Your Retirement radio show, right here on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Are you frustrated with the ups and downs of the stock market? Not sure how to invest your hard-earned retirement money? Each week, we'll look at the money-saving tips you need to know to have a successful retirement. Now, from the heart of Buckhead, here's your host, wealth coach, and financial advisor, David Nicholas.
All right. Hello, Atlanta. We appreciate you tuning in for another week of Protecting Your Retirement. I'm your host, David Nicholas. You can catch us here every Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. We appreciate you tuning in. We had quite a bit of calls from last week's show. We had the Attorney General on a couple of weeks back. It was a great show. We had a great response off of it. Well, we hope we have some call-ins also from today's show. We can keep the momentum going. A lot of what we'll be talking about on the show today is experiences of actual clients' success stories, what we've done for our clients, and how we've helped positively impact their lives from a financial standpoint. Now, this is a financial show. It's an investment show. We say, look, you can have the best financial plan in the world, but if your perspective is in the wrong place, we can build up all this wealth for ourselves. But if we're not generous, well, one, with the one who's given us the ability to make wealth, which is, as a believer, we believe God, and we're not generous to those the less fortunate around us, it doesn't matter how much wealth we build up, it'll never fully be fulfilling. So we say the best financial plans have the ability to allow you to live, but also allow you to give. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show. Well, with us today, again, it's a financial show, but at time to time we'll talk about the political issues that affect you as Americans. I'm really excited. With us today, we've got Congressman Lynn Westmoreland. Lynn was actually born and raised right here in Georgia, living more than 25 years in Fayette County, I think, before moving over to Coweta County. He is a true American entrepreneur, and I can appreciate this. He owned his own building company, and while owning that company, he actually ran for the Georgia State House. He served there for 12 years. Since 2004, he has served in the United States House of Representatives, representing the 3rd District, which starts right here in Metro Atlanta all the way down to Columbus. He serves on some important committees, the House Financial Services Committee, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, National Republican Congressional Committee. Him and his wife have been married for over 44 years. They have 3 children and 7 grandchildren. Congressman Westmoreland, we appreciate you being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, David.
Great. Well, where do we start? There seems to be a lot happening in Washington right now. It's an election year, but it seems over the last couple of weeks, the news has just been breaking. It's been hard to keep up. Well, given that you are on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, I just want to touch briefly on the exchange. I know the administration, they said I know the law said they were supposed to notify members of Congress before any prisoner exchange took place. Now, there are deep questions as to whether these Taliban militants who were released will pose renewed threats to Americans if they're back out on the battlefield. As the war's winding down, the question I have for you was bringing Sergeant Bergdahl home, did we do the right thing?
Well, I think every mom and dad wants their son home. We don't want to leave anybody on the battlefield.
Sure.
I think where this exchange has gotten so much ire from the public is the details that have come out from the people that served with Sergeant Bergdahl and the intelligence reports that have come out. And I don't know if this administration is just incapable analyzing these things to see what kind of decision could be made. And I'm not saying that, I didn't want Bergdahl to come home. I'm just saying, you give away the top 5 generals that you had in Gitmo, what's going on? So I think you have to look at the mentality of this administration. Number one, the American people has accepted their lies for the last, basically 6 years in their cover-ups and their spin, so they feel like they can just continue to do it, and people will continue to buy it.
Sure.
But there was somebody, I think W.C. Fields said, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think they're getting into trying to fool all the people all the time now, and they're running into a problem. And so, if you look at it, I think his intent is to close down Gitmo. But from the intelligence perspective, they only notify the intelligence committee of intelligence activity. And there was plenty of intelligence activity that was done on the release of Bergdahl. And if you look at the military aspect of it, sure, there was enough that they should have come to Congress just from the Armed Services Committee. So did they break the law? Absolutely. In my opinion, they broke the law. But, who are we going to get to say they broke the law? Holder?
Yeah, not so much. When it comes to, I think it was the Reagan mantra, which was peace through strength. Is the president perceived as too soft abroad?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, even our allies and our partners, they don't know where he's going. I mean, I've been telling people since this president was elected, at every town hall meeting or anywhere I go to speak, and people ask me about, where I think the country's going, I say the same thing. Look, our domestic problems, even as messed up as the healthcare system is and our tax system and what's going on with the illegal immigrants, and we will straighten that out eventually. Our domestic problems, we will straighten out. We've been doing it for the last 240 years.
Sure.
We're Americans, and we will do it. What this administration has done to our foreign policy and our standing in the world has crippled this country, not only with our enemies, but with our allies. And, Israel, our most important ally in the Middle East, the only folks that are truly a democracy, they don't know which way we'll go, even if something, if they came under attack. And then if you look at the handling of Syria, you look at the handling of Libya, and now look at Iraq. Here again, since 2011, or when the troops were pulled out, he's just been taking victory laps about we don't have any more troops. Well, all of those Iraqi folks, interpreters, village governors, all those people that assisted the American troops and our liberators, for those folks are in great danger and can't go in and try to do something and then pull all your troops out and let the people you tried to help get murdered for trying to be helped.
And just left there, yeah. And I think that's what we're seeing in Iraq now. I always wondered, should we have had a status of forces agreement left there in Iraq, and at least to maybe not give up some of the ground that was made and fought for that was so hard and tough to get. And, it is. And, when you look across the Middle East, it just seems like, ever since this president's been in office, I remember back when he said, the world will perceive us differently, and then, as this president's elected, we should have peace across the Middle East, but it's been the exact opposite, and
yeah. Well, they know there's no strength over here. They know there's no strength, and they hear what the administration's saying about, Al-Qaeda's dead, this Taliban, this, that, and the other. And they're just over there. They just got to sit around and chuckle at night together about, this is great. This guy's doing everything we need for him to do while we're over here building up.
Yeah.
And, I think Speaker Boehner put it pretty good yesterday. Are these people taking a nap?
Yeah.
And, because I really cannot, I've never seen such incompetence in my life. I do not think they could run a yard sale.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there. There's some big news out of Washington this week, obviously, and with Cantor's loss in his district, a replacement. Is there anyone that stands out to you that think would be a good replacement for his position there in the House?
Well, I think McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, who is the whip, I think he'll be the next majority leader. And Kevin's a hard worker. He's done a lot. He and I did the Cantor recruitment together in 2010 when we won the 87 seats. He and I traveled together, so I've got a lot of respect for Kevin. I've seen him in action. I know how tenacious he is, so I think he's going to come in. But the reality of it is that nobody will be able to replace Eric Cantor.
Sure.
Eric Cantor, as far as a person, he was one of my best friends up there. He's one of the most moral, upright, family people, good father, good husband, great leader, and he liked taking the fight to people. And unfortunately, I think he was the hostage that got shot.
Sure. Yeah, I can tell you, watching the work that he's done, I think he'll be greatly missed in the halls of Congress for sure.
And he will be greatly missed.
Well, Congressman Westmoreland, we appreciate your time. If folks in your district wanted to just go and find out a little bit more about what you're doing, is there a website that they can go and check out?
Yeah, they can go. Yeah, they can go to westmoreland.gov, or they can go to our campaign website. They can sign up for our newsletter. We send out a newsletter every week that we're in session to try to give folks as much information as they can about what's going on in D.C. and what's going on here and what I'm doing. I think it's real important that, that when you ask people to vote for you, you're not making them have to guess who you are. They need to know who you are.
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of great information out there. And like I said, go to westmoreland.gov or our campaign website, Westmoreland for Congress.
So, folks, that website again, westmoreland.house.gov. You can sign up for the newsletter there. And, folks, I encourage all of our listeners to just go out and get involved. If you can't be complaining about what's going on in Washington if you're not actively involved in the fight. So, Congressman Westmoreland, we appreciate your tireless effort to defend Georgians here in the 3rd District. We appreciate your time, and best of luck to you here the next couple of months.
All right. Thank you, David.
Great. All right, folks, well, don't go away. We're going to be talking about the markets. We've had a wild run over the last couple of days in the markets. What can you do now to make sure your portfolio is aligned correctly? For Protecting Your Retirement, I'm David Nicholas. We'll see you guys right after the break.